The logoi always conceived of themselves as offering free will to the sub-logoi in their care. The sub-logoi had freedom to experience and experiment with consciousness, the experiences of the body, and the illumination of the spirit. The first logos to instill what we now see as free will in the full sense in its sub-logoi came to this creation due to contemplation in depth of the concepts or possibilities of conceptualizations of what we have called the mind, the body, and the spirit. The logos posited the possibility of the mind, the body, and the spirit as being complex. In order for the mind, the body, and the spirit to be what it is not, it then must be granted the free will of the Creator. This set in motion, in our space-time terms, a quite lengthy series of logoi improving or distilling this seed thought. The key was the mind, the body, and the spirit becoming a complex. The mechanism of the veiling between the conscious and unconscious portions of the mind was a declaration that the mind was complex. This, in turn, caused the body and the spirit to become complex. There were many experiments whereby various of the functions of the body complex were veiled and others not. A large number of these experiments resulted in non-viable body complexes, or those only marginally viable. For instance, it is not a survival-oriented mechanism for the nerve receptors to blank out unconsciously towards any pain. The most effectual veiling was that of the mind. The primary veiling was of such significance that it may be seen to be analogous to the mantling of the earth over all the jewels within the earth's crust, whereas previously all facets of the Creator were consciously known. After the veiling, almost no facets of the Creator were known to the mind. Almost all were buried beneath the veil. If one were to attempt to list those most significant functions of mind, in that they might be of aid in polarization, one would need to begin with the faculty of visioning, envisioning, or far-seeing. Without the veil, the mind was not caught in our illusory space-time. With the veil, space-time is the only obvious possibility for experience. Also upon the list of significant veiled functions of the mind would be that of dreaming. The so-called dreaming contains a great deal which, if made available to the conscious mind and used, shall aid it in polarization to a great extent. The third function of the mind which is significant and which has been veiled is that of the knowing of the body. The knowledge of and control over the body, having been lost to a great extent in the veiling process, is thusly lost from the experience of the seeker. Its knowledge before the veiling is of small use. Its knowledge after the veiling, and in the face of what is now a dense illusion of separation of body complex from mind complex, is quite significant. The knowledge of the potentials of the physical vehicle before the veiling offered the mind-body-spirit a free range of choices with regard to activities and manifestations of the body, but offered little in the way of the development of polarity. When the knowledge of these potentials and functions of the physical vehicle is shrouded from the conscious mind complex, the mind-body-spirit complex is often nearly without knowledge of how to best manifest its beingness. However, this state of lack of knowledge offers an opportunity for a desire to grow within the mind complex. This desire is that which seeks to know the possibilities of the body complex. The ramifications of each possibility and the eventual biases thusly built have within them a force which can only be generated by such desire or will to know. Perhaps the most important and significant function that occurred due to the veiling of the mind from itself is not in itself a function of mind, but rather is a product of the potential created by this veiling. This is the faculty of will or pure desire. The first experiment produced service to self and service to others mind-body-spirit complexes immediately. The harvestability of these entities was not so immediate, and thus refinements of the archetypes began apace. The result of these experiments has been a more vivid, varied, and intense experience of creator by creator.